fractions and it ruins their entire life.
We don't do that in Ohio, okay? We don't want to stick people we don't even want serious drug addicts to be locked in prison for the rest of their life. We treat them, we pass them off to the community, and the recidivism rate in our prisons in Ohio for the drug addicted is less than 20%.
Classic ignorance, balling up everybody into the quote-unquote drug addict category. When everybody knows full well that, if anything, marijuana is much closer to the area of alcohol, at least in the same ballpark, than it is shit like crack and heroin and that kind of fucked up shit. And even with alcohol, it's and by every conceivable measure, it is much safer than alcohol. But anyway, continue. Oh, this guy looks like fucking Dracula. If you've seen this video, dude's got old, and now he looks like Dracula.
And we also have said that if a person's rehabbing themselves, we want to give them a chance to get out and be successful. The problem with marijuana is this. We don't
here we go.
want to tell our kids, don't do drugs, but by the way, this drug's okay. Let me tell you.
Isn't that what alcohol is? Isn't that?
Yeah, well, for the people...
And he gets a big pop from the crowd because it's true. There's candy. I've seen candy-flavored vodka commercials in the middle of the afternoon on basic cable. Kids can get fucking basic cable. They see, Jolly Rancher vodka. Yeah, son, that sounds good. I want some Jolly Rancher vodka. The problem with the message on pod, as I said, is the lying. That is a problem. Continue.
I can understand. Let me just tell you, you wouldn't believe how many people, just in Mississippi the other day, I was with a man. He's very well educated, very successful. His 21-year-old son took his life because he was addicted to drugs and didn't know how to climb out of it. I meet people everywhere in Ohio, and we're fighting it. We're educating people in the schools. We are in a position of being rehabbing people. But, Stephen, this is...
I guarantee you that motherfucker wasn't smoking a joint and then just said, I just can't take any more of this. I can't take any more cannabis. I got to off myself.
This is kind of a curse, this whole drug. And I'm talking about the OxyContin, I'm talking about the heroin, and now heroin's not even strong enough. Now they're lacing it with a drug called fentanyl that they give to people as they're in the last stages of their life who have cancer. I mean,
I want to be clear.
You can do that?
I'm not arguing for, legalizing heroin.
No. I know.
That's the classic thing. If they can get marijuana in the same conversation as the harder drugs, they can loop it all together. And then they're making the drugs as bad. Let's save the children argument.
That, but look, all I'm saying to you is I tell kids, my daughters, I say, girls, just please don't do drugs, okay? Mm-hmm. We go around to the schools and tell kids, please don't do drugs. But to legalize marijuana, and I'm not all hung up about marijuana, okay? I'm just saying to you that we don't need to take the approach where we send a confusing and mixed message to our children. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think it makes...
The confusing and mixed message is telling kids that heroin and marijuana are somehow the same.
Sense.
Did you ever smoke marijuana?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Were you caught smoking marijuana?
By who?
The police.
No, I never was.
If you had been caught smoking marijuana and had it on your record, would you be the governor of Ohio right now?
Maybe.
No.
If I got you to come out and campaign for me. But here's the thing, Stephen. I'm not wanting...
What I mean is that it ruins a life to have that police record because you can't get a job.
Look, we don't want to put people in prison or give them... Let me explain. Look, I went to school in the 70s, okay? I'm just suggesting to you now, I have never seen this drug problem as rampant as it is. And I don't want to ruin anybody's life. In fact...
And what does that have to do with weed? What the fuck does that have to do with weed? All right, next story from marijuanapolitics.com. You can find up on Cannabis Tweets on Twitter. Story from Canada. Of course, Canadians want marijuana legalization. And according to a new poll from Forum Research that found that 59% support the new Liberal government's stance on legalizing, taxing, and regulating cannabis for adult use, the model that Canadians approve of the most is the same model that just got destroyed in Ohio. Majority, 57%, preferred a system where the Canadian government only licenses large corporate growers compared to 33% who prefer some other kind of system. Of course, such a system was proposed last week to voters in the U.S. state of Ohio. In that state's Issue 3, which was defeated with just 36% support, the state constitution would have designated just 10 pre-owned plots of land for commercial growing, where a handful of large corporations would supply marijuana to over 1,000 independent retail marijuana outlets. The Canadians who supported large corporate grows are dominated by those who prefer an even tighter system than what Ohio proposed. So basically, what was just rejected is not good enough. In Ohio, 57% of Canadians are all for a system where the Canadian government only licensed large corporate growers. Just what Ohio would have been. But, people didn't like it. It wasn't good enough. Issue 3 wasn't good enough. What am I going to say? It's the last story from thinkprogress.org. By the way, I'm coming up with Ask Stoner Jesus on Periscope. Follow us at Stoner Jesus 420 on Periscope if you have the Periscope app. We'll be live there. You can ask your questions if you have the app. The link will go up on Stoner Jesus 420 on Twitter. If you're on the web, you can click that and be able to see and hear what's going on. Of course, the audio will also be on the podcast. A little cross promotion, that kind of thing. Well, cross promotion. That's what I'm, that's the word. I'm searching for another word. That's the word I'm looking for. Last story from thinkprogress.org. Why aren't more candidates listening to veterans on medical marijuana? It's a story about this, a veteran, obviously, who needs medical marijuana, about all the veterans that are committing suicide. Also, interestingly enough, this has an exchange with Chris Christie, who's not the most friendly guy when it comes to the cannabis, the weed, if you will. And with this advocate, where the hell's her name at? God damn it. I don't know. Here we go. Gulf War veteran Shelley Van Winkle. Get that in a second. Whoops. Here we go. See, this is Stoner Jesus Show. Who it be?
Yo, man, it's Joe Destruction. How you doing?
Joe Destruction. What's up, man?
It's been too long. I feel like I've strayed away from the flock and
Indeed it has.
shit like that.
What the fuck happened to you, man?
I went to Sin City for 2 weeks, and he turned me into a devil worshiper,
Holy
man.
shit.
But I'm sorry to interrupt weed news, but I just wanted to bitch about the dickhead at the DEA and this asshole in Ohio, because you were exactly right. First of all his issues that he's talking about have nothing to do with pot. There's no such thing as a cannabis addict. It's not physically possible. Sure, mentally, anybody could get addicted to chocolate or anything. And then the guy from the DEA is an asshole, too, because as someone who still has ongoing issues with cancer, I can tell you for a fucking fact that it's a medicine. Not only to treat symptoms, but we're seeing more and more evidence of, it working against certain cancers, and Rick Simpson and all these different, Tommy Chong, all these different people. I mean, the fucking proof is there if the asshole would take the time to look at it. But
Absolutely.
As you wisely pointed out, almighty Lord, he, self-interest, they don't want it to be legal because they make too much money off of stealing everybody's shit.
Indeed.
It's all about asset forfeiture and all that bullshit.
Yeah. The big fucking budgets.
But, I got an ongoing problem with cancer in my lungs, and if it gets worse, I'm going to go the fuck out to Colorado. I got relatives there. I got relatives in Nevada. I got relatives in California. Fuck it, man.
Hell yeah.
Well, what else do you got to lose? I mean, I don't understand how they can deny people that have, basically essentially a terminal illness any option. I don't care if it's fucking heroin if it worked,
Yeah. It's fucking incredible.
Idiots. Fucking idiots. But anyway, I just wanted to bitch because, I do that once in a while.
Word.
And I wanted to say I'm glad you're on Cannabis Radio. Great network. And glad you're back live and all that stuff.
Fucking A.
I'll be listening, brother.
Word. Thanks, Joe.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. Joe Destruction. Checking in. It's incredible. There's no logic to it. That's the thing. You can analyze it all you want. There's just no logic to it. It just needs to be defeated. That type of thinking. That's what we do. That's what we do here. Gulf War veteran Shelley Van Winkle, who's also a registered cannabis nurse, has been grilling GOP candidates on their views on medical marijuana. In a tense exchange with New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Van Winkle pointed out that the system he supports will leave medical marijuana doctors and patients vulnerable to federal crackdown. Apparently this is the exchange right here. It's over 4 minutes. I ain't got time for that shit, but let's see what we can... I'm sure the audio sucks as well. We'll see what we can get.
So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Shelley Van Winkle, and I am a registered nurse. I'm a veteran of the United States Army, the first before, which, I will be honest with you, I wish we wouldn't have just been 100 hours, that we should have finished what we started. I'm a certified cannabis nurse. But my approach is, I'm not for recreational. I do want to make that clear. I agree with you on so many things there. But I am here to say that the science and the medicine and the research needs to happen. My question...
By the way, I don't want to, fucking downgrade what this woman's saying, because I agree with her on medical marijuana. But the fucking medical marijuana people that say, I agree with you, there shouldn't be recreational. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. You're doing what they're doing. You're telling people that they don't have a right to do something in their own home that does not affect the rights of anyone else. You're part of the problem. When you say, oh, I agree with you on recreational, fuck those people. No, fuck you. Don't fucking presume to tell other people what they should do in the privacy of their own home. That's what's being told by to you, and you're so pissed off about it. But yeah, you turn around and do it to other people.
The question for you has to do with states' rights and federalism, and as an executive, what you would do so that when we have 40 states that have all this patchwork of all these different medicinal cannabis laws, and they're not meshing up. One state has this law, and this state has this law, and then in this state we just have CBD, just a decrim law.
Right, get at the point.
Nobody's communicating. And we have parents that are going from one state to the next state, and we have babies that are 4 years old that are criminals under federal law. If you're the president, what could you do administratively and as an executive?
He should be like, look, bitch, wrap it up. I'm fucking starving.
To fix this mess as a leader, what could you do?
Listen, as president, I'm going to enforce the federal law. Now,
cannabis needs to come out of Schedule 1.
Well,
so
listen, that's your opinion, and I don't agree. Listen,
research.
I don't. That's your opinion, and I don't agree with it. Okay, and I've made that really clear, which I'm sure one of the reasons.
Medicine, sir.
Listen, that's your opinion.
It's the truth.
Well, I understand that you believe it's the truth, and
many studies to back it up.
I respect your opinion, but I disagree with it. Now, there are limited instances in my state where we allow folks to use marijuana for medical purposes, but it is a medical program. And it is for only certain specific diseases. You have to get a doctor to be able to write a prescription for it. Those doctors have to be registered with the state. We have to monitor what they're doing.
Okay, I'm done with that. I'm fucking done with that. Another classic tactic, saying that something is a fact is indeed someone's opinion and that he disagrees with it. Because you can't say, well, I disagree with your facts. You have to make it an opinion and then say, oh, I disagree with your opinion. Fucking Christ. Man, I'm running out of time. These hours go by quick. I got to set up Ask Stern Jesus on Periscope. Oh, man. So we'll take a break, and I'll type this in, and we'll go live on Periscope. The link will go up on my Twitter and up on my Periscope as well, live from the Stoner Jesus Studio Complex. Whoops. Get back to where I was. There we go. Stoner Jesus Show podcast. That was, of course, Weed News. Get our Weed News from Cannabis Facts on Twitter. That's Cannabis Facts with a Z. Stoner Jesus Show podcast recorded live on November 11th, 2015 on Cannabis Radio on Spreaker. Podcast on stonerjesus.net, cannabisradio.com, and, of course, many other places like Stitcher, iTunes, and iHeart. It's awesome. Ask Stoner Jesus on Periscope coming up.
The Stoner Jesus Show on cannabisradio.com.
The Stoner Jesus Show is brought to you in part by Hemptations.com and PlanetEverywhere.com. They got a lot of awesome stuff for you to check out. But don't just take my word for it. Let Beach, the owner of Hemptations, tell you all about it.
It's a very large selection of hemp goods, everything from reusable coffee filters